everyone, so today we are going to make a model of the cell as it goes through its different stages in order to divide during mitosis and then at the end cytokinesis, okay? So remember, these are eukaryote cells that are doing this, and they are in your body. They make up the bodies of all eukaryotic organisms, okay? So these cells are called somatic body cells, okay? So we're going to start off with one of the longer pieces of string I told you to gather, okay? And make your little blobby cell, okay? In a little circle, okay? That is our cell membrane, all right? So we have our cell membrane, and here, let me scoot it closer into the frame of the camera, okay? And then we're going to have the nucleus of the cell membrane, okay? So the nucleus is going to be using one of the shorter pieces of string. So use that to make your circle for your nucleus. And inside your nucleus, you're going to have your chromosomes that carry your DNA. So you need 2 of the X-shaped chromosomes, and they are going to go inside the nucleus of your DNA, okay? Or of your cell to make up the chromosomes that carry your DNA, all right? So here's our beginning stage of our cell. Does anybody remember what is the beginning stage of the cell's life called? This is interphase, okay? So we're in interphase right now. Cell is just kind of doing its regular old cell processes, okay? One of the things that it's going to do in interphase is it's going to do DNA replication. And that is when it makes a copy of its chromosomes, a second set of DNA, okay? So you need your other 2 chromosomes and put those in the nucleus because now we have 2 sets of DNA, all right? Then, towards the end of the life cycle, is going to start changing, okay? So pause right here and draw this on your paper. This cell is in interphase, so make sure you label your diagram. This is interphase, okay? So I'll give you all a few seconds. You can pause the video if you're watching at home and draw this diagram on your paper. The cell is in interphase and it has made a copy of the DNA, okay? All right, so now the cell at the end of interphase, when it's about to be the end of its cell's life, it's going to start mitosis. What is the first phase of mitosis? Prophase, okay? So in prophase, something is going to disappear. What disappears? The nucleus, okay? So we are going to get rid of our nuclear membrane. Take that out of there, okay? So now we are in prophase, the first part of mitosis, okay? So pause right now. Draw this on your paper. We are now starting mitosis, and we are in prophase at the beginning of mitosis. We have lost our nuclear membrane, and now we can see our chromosomes, okay? So draw that on your paper. Now, the chromosomes are just kind of floating around in there because they're not contained inside that nucleus anymore. The nuclear membrane has disappeared. So the cell, before it can divide it up, is going to line those chromosomes up in the middle of the cell, okay? So the chromosomes will line up, and it's not really in any particular order, okay? Might be like this, might be like this, maybe like this, okay? It does not matter. They're just all going to line up in the middle of the cell. Which phase of mitosis is that cell in right now? It is in metaphase. And remember, they're in the middle for metaphase. Middle metaphase, MM, middle metaphase, okay? So copy this down, draw this on your paper, and label it mitosis metaphase, okay? Now, we have too many chromosomes, right? oh, we only need half these chromosomes. For this, whatever organism this is, it only needs 2 chromosomes, okay, inside this cell. So we need to divide and split these cells in half. So half the chromosomes are going to be pulled over to one side, and half the chromosomes are going to be pulled over to another side using spindle fibers, okay? So you can literally draw fibers, pretend my fingers are the fibers, from each side of the chromosome, and they are going to reach out and attach to those chromosomes and pull them apart, okay? Pull them onto the opposite sides of the cell. That is the next part of mitosis, where they're pulled apart. What's that one called? Anaphase, okay? So now we are in mitosis anaphase. So draw this on your paper. I'll wait a few seconds for y'all to do that. All right, so now we have our 2 sets of chromosomes separated away from each other, and the cell is ready to finish dividing, okay? So in the last part of mitosis, that nuclear membrane is going to come back, but now instead of just one nucleus, now we have 2 areas for a nucleus. So we need 2 sets of nuclear membranes. So we have 2 of those little strings, and now we have 2 nuclear membranes for the 2 sets of DNA. Then the cell membrane is going to start to pinch in half. It's not quite dividing all the way yet, but it's just going to start getting there, okay? What phase of mitosis is this in? This is telophase, okay? So draw that on your paper and label it mitosis telophase. We have the nuclear membranes. Now we have 2 of them. And then the cell membrane on the outside of the cell is starting to pinch in half, okay? All right, so the cell is ready to divide and become 2 new identical daughter cells. Remember, this is asexual reproduction. We started off with only 1 cell, 1 parent cell. So this is still asexual reproduction, okay? So they're going to be identical. We have an orange and a green chromosome here, orange and a green chromosome here, okay? They're the same cell. They're just making a copy. So the cell membrane is going to finally pinch in half, okay? And I'm just going to use another red string here for my second cell membrane, okay? Give me a second. All right, so now we have our 2 new identical daughter cells that have finally separated away from each other. And this is cytokinesis, okay? Cytokinesis, all right? So draw this on your paper. These cells are finally separated away from each other, and now you have 2 new identical daughter cells. Notice they're not identical shape, but they are identical with their chromosomes. Their DNA is the same, okay? That's what matters with the identical. When we say identical, is that they have the same DNA, okay? So draw this on your paper.